This marks a substantial milestone in our state's approach to caring for some of our most vulnerable citizens. Whether these folks live in our state facilities or in therapeutic community settings, we're all obligated to show that basic human decency for those individuals so that they can live and learn and grow. And as you're very aware, our current system had some serious shortcomings. They were exposed in those in our care in some very inexcusable ways. Like you, I was disturbed enough by the discovery of those failings to declare their correction an emergency issue at the start of this 81st legislative session that we just concluded. And I'm proud that the legislature addressed them. These two leaders of the legislature will speak in a moment, and the passage of Senate Bill 643 is the result of some very hard work and I might say great example of love and compassion that these two individuals and their colleagues exhibited. This legislation, it includes a combination of both common sense and $48 million in much needed funding. It improves oversight of the state school population with a variety of measures, from increased penalties for wrongdoing to increased use of monitoring technology in our facilities. It also provides for essential staff increases and improvement in training for employees to better equip them to provide the best care. Speaking of employees, I want to address the episodes of neglect and abuse on the part of some of those state school employees. First, those involved will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Secondly, those bad actors don't accurately represent nor reflect the remarkable employees of our state school system, particularly those of you who have had loved ones in those facilities know exactly the types of wonderful men and women who populate that system. The vast majority of those individuals have devoted their academic and professional lives to caring for the less fortunate in our society in many cases. They deal with daily challenges that most of us couldn't imagine, and they do so with grace and courage and dignity that is truly inspiring. I hope the additional resources, the training, the other reforms in this bill not only prevent any abuse in the future, but also provide better support to those hardworking caregivers who all too often are underappreciated, under-recognized. Senate Bill 643 certainly allows us to meet the terms of the settlement with the Department of Justice, but more importantly, it will improve the care we extend to those in our system. And I'm very grateful to the legislature for their crafting of this bill. And at this time, I would like for them to just share with you their perspective, and first would be Senator Jane Nelson.
Thank you.
Senator.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, Governor Perry, it is great to see you back in the saddle. I mean, you are one committed person. Break a collarbone one day, come sign bills the next day. I do want to thank you, Governor, for seeing the need for this legislation and for establishing this, designating emergency status for this legislation from the very beginning. You have been a strong advocate for Texans with disabilities, and we do appreciate your leadership greatly. And speaking of leadership, I have to thank my partner over on the House side. Chairman Rose chairs the House's Human Service Committee, and we both had interim charges that dealt with this issue back last interim. So when we got into this session, Governor Perry issued the emergency status, and we were able to hit the ground running. Now, there are many people right here in this room and many, many others who came and testified and helped us understand the challenges that we faced. And I'm talking about public citizens, I'm talking about staff, I'm talking about the advocacy groups that all helped us get to this point. Heading into this session, we knew the challenges that faced us. We knew that we needed to improve our efforts to detect and to deter abuse. We knew we needed to provide better training and better screening for our employees. We knew that we needed to ensure independent and impartial oversight. And we knew, Governor, it was going to take a little bit of money to do that. And we were able to address all of those things. The abuse and neglect that has taken place in our 13 state-supported living centers, that's our new terminology for what we used to call our state schools, that abuse and neglect is unacceptable. It is inexcusable. It is intolerable. It does not reflect the goodwill and the compassion of the people of the state of Texas. And these are our most vulnerable citizens that we're talking about. So I just want everybody to know that this isn't representative of our people. I think Governor Perry said it very well. We have so many good caregivers, and it's the incidents that we see and have heard about are not reflective of so many good people. This legislation, combined with the commitments in our state budget, is going to help us meet the goals that we established early on in the session. Texans with developmental disabilities deserve our respect. They deserve to be treated with dignity, and they deserve our protection and our oversight and our compassion. Senate Bill 643 is going to improve the lives of Texans with disabilities, and it will ensure that they receive the proper care that they deserve. I'm so happy to be here today to watch our governor sign this bill into law. Thank you so much, Governor.
In the House, we had just as a committed and capable individual who I truly enjoy working with, and Patrick has been a real champion, and Patrick Rose.
I want to start by thanking the senator, the commissioner, the governor, and there's a tremendous amount of staff work that goes into this. So I want to thank mine and the senators and the governor's staff who've spent hundreds of hours putting this together. That's the first group. Second group, we've got parents and siblings and other family members of our individuals who are served in our state-supported living centers who are here today, who are not here today, all of you who've worked hard supporting and improving the care there. We owe a debt of gratitude to you, so thank you. And I want to say this, we have got to detect, report, investigate, prosecute, and ultimately prevent abuse, neglect, and exploitation in our state-supported living centers. I think Senate Bill 643 goes a long way to putting those systems in place, and I thank everybody who's a part of making it a reality. It's a pleasure to be with you.
I think appropriate that we get the agency perspective this afternoon and allow the Commissioner of the Department of Aging and Disability Services to say a few words, if she would. Addie Horn.
Good afternoon. I really would like to take this opportunity to thank Governor Perry. You made this a priority this session, and you set that priority forward for our legislature and for this state, and for that we are eternally grateful. And to Mr. Kimbrough, our governor's chief of staff, who you assigned to assist us from the beginning of this assignment, and worked there right along with me in the agency, and also your Office of Budget Planning and Policy Development, who was there for us, who worked between our offices and the legislature's offices.
You stay. Okay. Come on, come on. I'm right here.
I am so impressed. Wow. Holy cow. I'm just gonna shake this hand right here. Wow. I kinda want a copy of that. That's going in the history books right there. You know?
Let's,